Welcome back to part 2 of pie dough. I have taken the pie dough that we made earlier and put it in plastic in the refrigerator. I've taken it out. I have my piece of marble here that I reserved for pastry, and I've chilled it down with some ice blocks here. I have 2 pieces of parchment paper. On the bottom of one, I have drawn a circle. That's about how big I want my pie dough to be to fit in my 9-inch pie pan. I'm going to lightly, very lightly flour the bottom piece of parchment. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some of it. I'm going to cut more than half because more than half is going to fit in the bottom. So this is about half. So I'm going to cut a little bit more than half. And what I don't use for the bottom, I can always put back onto the top. I don't know if you can see this, but this pie dough is nicely marbled. It's marbled. You can see some fat in it. Take this into a circle on the parchment paper. Flatten it out. Turn it over. Sprinkle it just a little bit with flour. I don't want to incorporate any more flour into the dough. It should be about in the center of my circle. Now we'll put the top sheet on. Roll from the center of the pie dough outward. Center, outward. Center, outward, and we are trying to get the dough as evenly rolled out as possible. Rolling in a spoke fashion. This has been in the refrigerator several hours. Just very lightly get the edges even. You can see it's marbled. Look how beautiful that is. Okay, now the trick is to pick this up and put it in the pie pan. One way to do it is to wrap it around the rolling pin. There we go. Now we're going to shape it a little bit. There's a lot of overhang. If you need to stop here, if you don't need a top, you can stop here and just crimp it. I'm rolling under. There you have the bottom crust. Welcome back to the last part of making a beautiful peach pie. I have my peaches here, which have been peeled, cored, and sliced, and left to drain. I have my flour, sugar, and I'm using nutmeg. I'm going to mix these all together. I'm going to serve this peach pie with some ice cream. You can use vanilla ice cream, peach sherbet, or ice cream. I'm actually going to use caramel ice cream this time. This pie will bake at 400 degrees. Pour this mixture into the pie shell. Spread it evenly. Just about perfect. Look at this. Decided to put a lattice on top, and I'm going to do that. I made the strips with a ruler and a pizza pie cutter. And I'm going to put these strips on the pie. But before I do that, I'm going to dot it with a little bit of unsalted butter. I like to use unsalted butter. Doesn't have any salt in it, number one. Number two, I think the butter tastes better. Placing the strips. Like so. The other one, oops, like so. Then pull back every alternate one, strip across. This just takes a few minutes. Again, every alternate one of our lattice. Now we do the same thing with the other side. Okay. It's like weaving a basket. Pieces, a little bit here, so they don't overhang as much. Okay, so nicely tucked under. I'm using my fingers pie so that if the juices do overflow, they will run into the pan and not into the bottom of my oven. And come all the way around. Okay, here's our pie. I'm going to sprinkle it with just a little bit of sugar to make the pie crust glisten a little bit. And now it's ready to go in the oven. And here is the perfect peach pie. Here's the perfect peach pie, ready to serve for tonight's dessert.